Hewitt and welcome to Wanderlust Travel and Photo Blog Start Exploring Today travel video series. This is my final travel packing video segment and will focus on how to prevent and handle lost or stolen baggage while traveling. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about how to protect your baggage while on a trip and how to minimize the impact of a lost or stolen bag while traveling. With this information in hand, you can prevent a lost or stolen bag from ruining your entire trip. Sometimes no matter how much we prepare, a lost or stolen bag just happens. In this event, one of the best pieces of advice that I can give you to minimize the impact of a lost or stolen bag is to leave a copy of your passport back home with a family member. Should you lose your passport while traveling, it can be an absolute nightmare to get back home. By keeping a copy of your passport at home, you can have a family member send you that copy, which will help you facilitate getting a new passport and get you home sooner. This can be especially important if you lose all of your identification while traveling and have no other way to verify your identity. A great way to start off your trip on a really bad note is to forget a critical item in your carry-on bag. Forgetting to pack your passport, important medication, your immunization record, or other critical items can absolutely ruin your trip. One way to make sure that you never forget these items is to use a carry-on bag checklist. If you're looking for a carry-on bag checklist to use, I've included a copy of a checklist that I've used for years on my blog that you can download and use for yourself on your next trip. One of the most critical things that you'll carry with you when traveling is your passport. If you lose your passport, you won't be able to travel and your trip will be absolutely ruined. In order to prevent losing my passport and other critical travel documents, I like to keep a travel organizer like this one with me. This allows me to keep my passport, my immunization record, and other important travel documents in one place, nice, neat, and organized so I don't lose them during my travels. One of the scariest things about trying to protect your belongings when you travel is the fact that criminals don't even need to physically take your belongings in order to rob you. Like all things, petty theft has now entered the digital age. Using RFID skimmers, criminals can steal your identity or financial information without even touching your baggage or wallet. That's why I would recommend investing in a wallet or credit card sleeve that has RFID protection. This will protect your financial information and your identity and keep them both safe when you travel. Traveling with your immunization record was important prior to COVID-19, but now it has become even more critical. There are many circumstances where you will not be allowed into a country without a certain vaccination. For instance, when I traveled from Peru to Ecuador, I needed to have proof of my yellow fever vaccination before I was allowed entry. That is why it's important to keep an international certificate of vaccination with you at all times when you travel. With COVID-19, it is anticipated that many countries will require proof of vaccination against COVID-19 before you're allowed entry. So make sure you have this with your passport and your other travel documents in your passport organizer when you travel. Sometimes even due diligence and proper planning isn't enough to prevent a lost or stolen bag. To be prepared, you need to be able to live without your luggage for at least a few days. When you travel, I would recommend carrying at least one change of clothes with you in your carry-on bag. This way, if the airline loses your luggage, you won't be left scrambling at your destination and can get by until the airline can get your luggage to you. As important as your passport, if not more, are the important medications that you'll need to take while traveling to stay healthy. Because the airlines can misplace or lose your checked baggage, I would strongly recommend that you keep all important medications with you in your carry-on bag while traveling. This way, should the airline lose your checked baggage, you won't be left scrambling at your destination trying to fill a prescription. In the event that your luggage is misplaced by an airline or lost while traveling, nothing is going to be more helpful in getting your bags back to you than a proper bag tag like this one. When traveling, I would recommend not only keeping a bag tag like this on your checked luggage, but I would keep one on your carry-on luggage as well. That way, should you leave your bag on a plane, or on a train, or on a bus, and I've done all three, someone will be able to find your bag, look at the bag tag, and get that bag back to you as soon as possible. Another threat to your belongings when traveling is simple petty theft. While you're navigating an airport, out and about sightseeing in a city, or in public transportation, the threat of petty theft is becoming increasingly real. To help prevent this, I would recommend investing in some simple padlocks like this, travel locks. Some of them are combination locks like this one. Some of them are key locks like this one. All of them, most of them nowadays, are TSA approved, meaning that the TSA agents will have a a master lock, they'll be able to get into your luggage so they won't have to cut it off when you go through airport security. But by keeping small padlocks like this on your luggage, it'll keep people from getting into your luggage and taking your things. And I would recommend not only keeping this on your checked baggage, but I would keep it on your carry-on items and those items that you carry around when you're doing some sightseeing, like a camera backpack or a knapsack, something like that. Having a padlock on all of those zipped up compartments will keep people from getting into those compartments and stealing your stuff when you're not looking. I've talked about a lot of really great tips about keeping your bags safe when traveling and minimizing the impact of lost or stolen bags when traveling. But one of the most important tips that I can give you is to keep your luggage with you and in your sight at all times. This includes when you're at the airport. Don't leave your bags lying around while you're going up to the ticket counter, for instance. This includes public transportation especially. A lot of the petty theft that occurs with luggage when traveling happens on public transportation. For instance, if you're in a bus when traveling, there may be a place for luggage up front on the bus, and it's really easy just to put your luggage up there and go back and find a seat, but that's where most of these thefts occur. So I would recommend keeping your luggage with you at all times, whenever possible, and keeping your eye on your bags. One of the things especially that I like to do when I'm sitting, taking a break when sightseeing or stopping for a meal, is to put one of the straps of my bag around one of the legs of the chair. And so that way someone can't walk by stealthily and take my bag without me noticing it. It's kind of attached to the chair of my, the leg of my chair. So there are a lot of good things that you can do to keep your bag safe, but one of the most important is to be vigilant and keep your bags in your sights at all times. So that concludes my final episode of my travel packing series, in which I detailed how to prevent and minimize the impact of lost or stolen luggage. Please tune into episode 4 of my Start Exploring Today travel video series in a few weeks, where I'll be doing my first travel destination spotlight. I'm going to be talking to you about one of this world's most amazing road trips, the Great Ocean Road in Australia. Until then, safe and happy travels.